Hey everyone, I'm Anita Ewing and welcome to Anita's Country Living. Today we are going to show you how to make cold butter biscuits and sausage gravy homemade. The first thing that we're going to show you is all the ingredients that you're going to need today. You're going to need all-purpose flour, baking soda, aluminum-free baking powder, stick of cold butter, evaporated canned milk, homemade lard that I use to grease my skillet for my biscuits. If you don't have homemade rendered lard, you can use cooking spray or whatever else you have on hand. Later on, when it comes time, we will show you how we render our own lard. Pink Himalayan sea salt and some sugar. You're also going to need a cutting board. I'm going to use my Ninja mixer today also. If you don't have one, you can use a regular mixer or mix it by hand. And this is going to be my biscuit cutter when I get all the dough mixed up and ready to cut my biscuits out. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out 2 cups of flour using a 2-cup measuring cup. We're going to want to make sure that we have exactly 2 cups, so we're going to use our leveler today. We're going to add it to our mixer. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our butter into 6 tablespoons and add it to our flour and mixer. Next, we're going to need our baking powder. And this calls for 5 teaspoons of baking powder. Next, you're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And the last thing I'm going to add is 1 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. Next, I'm going to turn on my mixer and I'm going to pulse it for about 5 to 7 times. Okay, we got our butter mixed into our flour. Now we're going to pour it in our mixing bowl and we're going to add our milk. After you pour your flour into your mixing bowl, you're going to want to make a hole in the middle of your flour and you're going to want to add 3/4 cup of canned milk, and then 2 more tablespoons of canned milk. After you get your milk mixed in, you should have this texture. Your next step is that you're going to want to flour your surface so that you can knead your dough before you get it ready to cut your biscuits out. Take a little bit of flour, flour your surface. After you get your surface floured, you're going to want to flour your hands because you're going to use your hands in this. We're going to take our dough and we're going to put it on our flour surface. My hands are floured, so the dough's not sticking to me. We're just going to knead it back and forth. The more you knead this, you don't want to overdo it, but it's going to make your biscuits flaky by folding it like into a square and pushing down. And that's what you want, is a good flaky biscuit. After we have kneaded our dough and we have kneaded it into a square shape several times, we are ready to roll out our dough and cut our biscuits. Flour your rolling pin so that your dough does not stick to it. I forgot to mention the rolling pin earlier, but you're going to need one of these too. Sorry about that. Next, I have my biscuit cutter. I'm going to push it down in my dough and turn. We should get a perfectly round biscuit. Flatten your dough out till it's about a 1/2 inch thick because your biscuits will rise. I'm cooking my biscuits in a cast iron skillet today, so I'm going to go ahead and transfer some of these I got cut out so I got more room to cut more. I've got 10 biscuits ready to go into the oven, the preheated oven of 425. And in the meantime, I'm going to clean up my mess and get started on our gravy. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I make my homemade sausage gravy. I have a 1 pound pack of our homemade sausage my dad makes. Later on, when I show you how to do our lard, I'll show you how we make our sausage also. You can use any sausage that you buy from the store, a 1 pound roll of any sausage that you like to make this recipe. We're also going to use 2 cans of evaporated milk. I like to use this canned milk because it makes our gravy very creamy. After I started making my gravy with canned milk, I can't make it with any other milk. But you can use regular milk if that's all you have on hand. Salt and pepper to taste, and you're going to need some flour. You're also going to need a whisk. So first, we're going to open up our sausage and we're going to put it in our skillet and get it nice and browned. Now that I got my sausage in my skillet, I'm going to brown it up real good. I just pulled our biscuits out of the oven and they're nice and golden brown. I'm going to throw some butter on the top of them and they'll be all ready for our gravy here in a few. Okay, I have browned my sausage, but it looks like my sausage was pretty lean, so I'm going to add some more of my lard so it helps make my roux. So I added about 2 tablespoons of lard to help make my roux. My roux is going to be my flour mixture that I'm going to add to my sausage. So that looks great right there. Your roux that you're making is going to be your grease and your flour mixture. Making your roux is the critical part of making your gravy and getting it right. Now I'm going to sprinkle flour into my sausage. You're going to lightly dust your sausage with flour. You're not going to overdo it. Once you get your flour in there, you're going to want to start mixing. I turned my heat down while I'm making my roux. We're going to want to mix this up until it gets mixed up real good and it starts to turn brown. The flour does. It starts matching your sausage. It starts matching your sausage in color. And the reason why I turned the fire down on my stove is because I don't want to scorch my roux base. That looks perfect to me, so now I'm going to be ready to add my milk. Okay, now I'm ready to add my canned milk. Whisking it as I'm pouring it. I used a little bit more sausage than I usually do, so I'm going to add a 1/3 can of canned milk. because I'm going to make more because I had more sausage, so it's going to make more gravy than expected. And then, like, if you're making your gravy and you see it getting thick, you can always add milk or water. It'll still make your gravy turn out great. A lot of people are like, oh, I can't make gravy. Oh, you can't mess up gravy. If it starts getting too thick, add milk or water. If it starts getting, it's too thin and it's not thickening up, add flour and whisk it in. You can fix it. You can always come out of it being too thick or too thin. After you put your milk in and you're making your gravy, you are constantly stirring it. You never want to stop stirring it. You don't want it to stick to the bottom of your skillet because it will scorch. So you will always stir your gravy. Now I'm going to add my salt and pepper. Then we're going to whisk it again. Mix in our salt and pepper, and we're going to be ready to pour this over our biscuits. Now I'm going to add some butter to the top of my biscuits. That's pretty much it on today's show. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I had a lot of fun with you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, God bless you.